Check.
That's because I'm here, see?
Yeah, we don't normally have this many waiting. I'll just get a sound check. It takes a little while for a response and just make sure that everyone can hear us both. Yep, perfect. Okay, we're all good. Right, guys, this is Ginge. We met in prison. Please be kind. She's a bit nervous this evening, bless her.
Very nervous.
She's fine. You'll be fine. There's nothing but love in here. Hey. So, sorry, I normally just let the flip because it'll just be everyone will go hello, hello, hello.
No, yeah, that's fine.
And what I don't like is evening, Will. Yeah, get it in now, girl. Get it in now.
Get you back.
Get it all in. All right, we're going to just start the ball rolling then. So, yeah, this is Ginge, guys. We met in Send. We didn't meet in Bronzefield, did we?
No,
it was Send we met in.
Yeah, Send.
So, evening, Nicole. Hello, everyone. We're good this end. I hope you're all well that side of the screen. So, do you just want to tell people what you went in for? What was how many times you went into prison, but what was your longest time in prison, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so Friday 13th of January, 2016, I got sentenced to a 10-year starting point for category 1A robbery, but obviously it got dropped for guilty plea, so I got 8 years, 3 months. It was my first time ever in prison. So yeah, and then the second time was a stupid recall, but that was only 10 months.
So did you serve half of that eight
Yeah,
years?
I got a bit of extra time for being a bit naughty in prison,
We'll get to that bit in a minute.
Yeah, I went
like a naughty story.
Yeah, October I went into Eastwood Park. I think I'd done 3 months there. That was October 2016, and then I got out February 21st, 21. First time. So yeah, it was straight 4.5 years.
And we got out the same month then. I got the 26th of February 21.
Yeah.
That's when I got out, yeah.
Yeah.
So what was like a little bit before prison? I don't need your whole story, but what led you? Okay, what sort of led you to your crime? Was you a drug user? Was you just in with a bad crowd?
Yeah, so I was in a relationship. I wouldn't say it was volatile, but it was very codependent, drug dependent. I loved her, but I think for the wrong reasons. I got pregnant with my daughter 3 months into our relationship. I decided to keep her, get clean. I did, then I didn't, and it was just a real struggle. And I decided not to fight for custody for her because I thought she was just better off with someone else because the situation I wasn't in, I wouldn't. So obviously my mentality was unbalanced at that point, and that night I just got involved in something, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time. And I knew the man that had been robbed. I won't go into how much I know him. I don't really want to say, but I knew it. And I think that's why I got so long, because it looked as if it was all planned, but it generally wasn't. So yeah, I think it was just mentally unbalanced. I just followed my missus when she went there that night. I wasn't there when it happened, but I was round the corner. I went in to try and help, and he stitched me up. So yeah, it's all fucked, really.
So if you see me, if I smile or I'm doing any of this, I'm just acknowledging the guys in the room. But I'm not trying to distract you in any way, and I'm not giggling at anything you're saying.
No.
Sometimes I get caught on a comment and it's so ridiculous I giggle, but you could be talking about something well deep and I look like a right arsehole.
No, it's fine.
Yes, of course there is a mod in the room. Thank you, Glenna. As if we do this live without my shit hot number one mod. So okay, first night in prison. Where did you go? How did you feel?
I shit myself. I'm not gonna lie. I cried all fucking night. I think I just wanted to speak to someone from my family. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be my sister, and no one was answering. I actually rang my stepmom, and she was just absolutely gutted for me. At that point in time, I didn't know how long I was getting, so I cried my eyes out. It wasn't very nice, and I thought, oh, I'll just get a couple of years. It'll be fine. But also I had my miss. No, I didn't. No, she got sent 3 days later, so she wasn't even there with me. So it was my first time in. I was doubled up with someone as well, which wasn't helpful because they were smoking drugs in there, and I realised that I'd messed up and wanted to get clean. So obviously I didn't, because she was in there smoking whatever. So yeah, I think the first night was difficult. But I don't know. I think in my head I was like, I'll just get a couple of years, I'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? But obviously it didn't work out like that.
So I take it, sorry, I'm just going to cut you off. So in your first night, was you in a single on the very first night, or was you
No,
put straight into a double?
straight in a
Okay,
double.
so what prison did you go to first of all?
Eastwood Park.
Okay, so they're a bit different on rules there then.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
even more terrifying.
yeah, it was, and she was an older woman. Like, she was like, I don't know, she was about 48. She was a bit scary, to be fair. Like, I was 25. I was like, oh fucking hell, mate. I hope she's not lesbian and try it on with me or something. I thought I'd be a bitch first day. Do you know what I mean? I was by myself. Gail went with me, and I just wanted to go home. My daughter, obviously, I just not long had my daughter at that point, so I was still sort of grieving from that. She was only 3 months old. I've just given birth, basically, so that was really difficult. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Like, the girls weren't arseholes, because it was a Welsh jail. I knew quite a few people in there as well. Like, they'd say hi, so I knew that I wouldn't be hurt or anything.
So course, he went to bloody hell. So I don't know why I thought you was in Bronzefield.
No.
Guys, literally, just so you know, I'm not ignoring anyone in the comments. We're just going to do a
Oh,
bit
Lucy.
um on we're going to get a bit of Ginger's story before I start replying to anything. So if you are putting anything and you've been ignored, we're not doing it on purpose. Please just put the questions in again towards the end of the live. I'll be grateful. Thank you. But mum's good, and yeah, I hope everyone's well. So did your pad make you feel welcome, like, the next morning? Did she, like,
No,
show you the ropes and stuff like that?
she was too high. I
Oh,
don't even think she knew what was going on. Like, she was just, I don't know. She wasn't. I don't know how I was on drugs, because you don't see it in yourself. But when I seen her,
yeah.
I thought, fucking hell, I hope I weren't like that on drugs. She was just like dazed in her own world. She was not communicating with me. I'd try and like make a convo, but then nothing. Uh,
Yeah.
and then the next day I got food poisoning. So I was really fucking ill. And then she was smoking her drugs, and I just wanted out the cell. And that's when my missus come in. So at least I had someone then.
Did you get put on the same wing?
She got put on the same wing, but someone snitched on us. I said, and she asked to come in with me, and they went, yeah, yeah. And then someone snitched and went, they're in a relationship, so they didn't.
Yeah, you can't tell nobody in prison that you're in a
But it
relationship.
was my first time, so I didn't know.
Yeah, you did
Yeah,
know
oh
the
my God,
rules.
the bus has come in, my missus has come in, my wife, blah, blah, blah. I just had a baby with her. I will get tooed up. They went, yeah, yeah, you can. And she went and snitched on me. I thought, you two-faced bitch.
Yeah,
Too much.
jealousy. Prison girls are very, very jealous.
Yeah. What did they? I mean, they was scrounging tobacco. Got any burn? Got any burn? I went, no, I haven't actually. It's for myself. But then I'll give half of it out then.
Because that's a golden rule. I tell anybody, don't even sugar. Don't
Mm,
even that's the first thing they come for, is the sugar. The minute
yeah.
you say yeah to the sugar, then they beg it for something else. Then it's liquids, then it's fucking tobacco, whatever back
Coffee,
then it was.
sweet, and
Yeah, coffee, and then that's it. I want you can let me wear your clothes and God knows what. And then before you know it, you are vulnerable, and
yeah.
you're in deep. Then you're in deep.
No, definitely, yeah.
So you spent 3 months there. What was it like? Was it really, because I heard it's really rough. Was there like loads of fights and stuff like that?
Yeah, there was a lot of, like, it's different. So if someone's on CC, the whole jail gets locked down so they can
What?
walk out. Yeah.
Oh, what, to get them?
Just so they
Hang
can
on.
exercise. We're not allowed out when they're having their 30-minute walkabout. We have to get locked behind our door.
Oh,
Even if they're
wow.
on our wing. So hypothetically, if they were on, I was on this, obviously I went to Kinham because that's a detox wing. And then a little while on, you get moved to a different wing. I got moved to B, split up from my missus again. She got put on C. Eventually I got on there with her, and I remember someone, I think her nickname was PJ or something. She'd had a fight, like they'd knifed someone or something, or sliced her face or something. And the whole jail, whenever she came out, we had to get locked behind our doors.
So we're just I am going to respond to one comment. Someone's just said, what's CC? So
The cellular confinement, so you're behind your door without a telly. I think you got no work, but you do. You're not allowed out with associate with anyone, but you are allowed. I think, what is it? You're allowed to drop every week on canteen 15.50, isn't it? £15.50.
that's basic money. So I
No,
think,
I mean work. So when you're on basic, all you get is work money, and then CC
yeah. That's it. Yeah, you're not allowed the outside money dropping, but you're allowed your wages, aren't you? But yeah, so basically CC's a punishment for when you're a naughty little girl or a little boy,
Yeah,
and they want to punish you. So
yeah,
basically, it works different because CC, you go normally like in Bronzefield, you'll go to segregation, so they have their own courtyard, don't they?
yeah,
And then Send, you get escorted round by the officer, don't you? Am I right in
yeah,
saying that?
yeah.
But everyone else is still out.
I've been on CC, well, a few times.
All right, well we'll get to that bit then. So yes, I hope that Joyce.
People out. They chew you along if you tried to say hello, but you was allowed out. You weren't like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
oh no, you can't go out.
locking down the whole prison.
So yeah,
Hi to everyone that's just jumped in the room, guys. Again, we're not ignoring anyone. Howard, yes, of course, you're welcome in here. We're in the middle of hearing Ginger's story. I don't want to keep jumping and answering any questions, obviously, unless they're a good one, which is what CC, because obviously you guys don't know what it is, so we'd rather you have an explanation. So any questions that get ignored, please do ask again at the end. We'll do a Q&A at the end of this, but yeah, I'm really interested in hearing Ginger's story, and I guess you guys are too, hence why you're in the room. So you spend 3 months in Eastwood Park, right?
yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah, and you're on
Oh,
remand.
rough. The food, the fucking food, mate, was vile. Like
Really?
mold on your bread. And you'd be allowed one sachet of ketchup per like meal. Anyone
Not
that's been
even Bronzefield was that tight.
the only good thing in there was Australian Crunch. Everyone used to go met, and I swear to God, people would self harm if they couldn't get their Australian Crunch. That's how bad it was in there for just like nutcases. It wasn't normal. So I was actually quite happy to get shipped to Send. To be fair.
And just to rewind a little bit, you said someone got slashed. So they use tools and that in there? Because I've not
Hmm.
been in the two prisons. They've used tools, obviously the sugar and the hot water, but
Yeah.
I've not heard of anyone making a shank as
No.
what
Yeah.
you
They
call
did
it.
Wood Park.
Course, so it's proper rough there then.
Yeah.
Wow.
This girl that actually, the other girl, she actually bullied me when I was on Kinnan. Um, like I was in agony. Do you know what I mean? Like I was withdrawing because I was on Valium, methadone, heroin, crack. Like, and it was all coming out. Although um, they put me on methadone. Yeah, Although I was on methadone, it doesn't hold you for the first few days. They have to put you up. She used to bully the fuck out of me and just say, "Grow up, do your bird," and be banging on my wall for hours. She was
Oh,
alright
wow.
after, but yeah, she was a bit of a bully, to be fair.
Wow.
Mm.
That's bad. That's bad because I didn't really come across that behaviour, but I wasn't really on main block for long in
No, yeah.
Bronzefield, so I guess it's different. So you're on remand, so you're still on remand, and where'd you go from there?
Send
Oh,
HMP.
did you get sentenced whilst in Eastwood Park then, or?
No, hold on. Yeah, I did. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. They
Yeah,
sentenced in Eastwood Park on Friday, 13th of January, and then got shipped to Send 31st of January.
and just if you wouldn't mind clarifying for the people that are late in the room, what was it that you went down for, and you served how long?
Category 1A robbery, and I served 4.5 out of 8 years, 3 months.
Mental. Okay, so you land up in Send. What's it like when you get there?
I mean, I probably cried for longer. I was like, oh my,
Oh, really?
yeah, this is like a real prison. I know that sounds stupid and pathetic saying that, but when I walked, like, it was proper, like, I can't explain it, but it just seemed different. It was like the middle of fucking nowhere, London somewhere. I don't know anyone. Luckily, my missus did get shipped with me, but the governor of Send wasn't actually told we were in a relationship because they said they would never have accepted us together otherwise. But
Ah,
Eastwood Park could see I was struggling, she was struggling, everything that's happened. My daughter, they thought they'd ship us together. So I got put on B wing, of all places, because D wing wasn't induction wing at that point in time. It was
I
more like
was gonna say. Oh, wasn't that like a rap? That was for Wrapped, wasn't it? The
it
course,
was
the program that I
back then.
done.
No, it
I
wasn't.
didn't. I wasn't.
I think people that were on methadone more than anything because
Oh,
the
okay.
be dispensed from there. So within everyone, like, it's worse there for your tobacco. Give me your tobacco. They was quite rude because I came the day before canteen was delivered, so everyone had nothing, and I've just got like a what did we get? Was it a 25 or 30 gram of tobacco, whatever it was? So everyone was
I
on
can't
me,
remember.
and I was like, I don't have any. I don't have any. They was like, your missus has just come in with you as well. You would have had one each. I was like, for fuck's sake! So I give half of that away, and then 3 days later, um, Gail got split up from me again and put on D wing, so I was by myself.
Did you feel so? Did you give it away because you felt intimidated? Like,
Yeah.
you know, was because I think, you know, the reason I want to get it out there is because I'm really, really grateful for you coming on this evening, and I mean that because your story is so different and your experience is so different. And I never, even when I went on to first went into prison, I never had any of that. No one even come and asked me for nothing.
Mm.
Like I watched around, but I never had that experience. So I am sorry that you felt that way to start with. Like that's
But I
got to be
think
a shit
if
experience.
you're in there, if you walk in looking down at your feet or any like that sort of demeanor, then they're going to know that person's a bit of, or that person's a bit feared of prison, or you know, we could eat. Do you know what I mean? You don't,
Yeah,
me, you don't look that type. Like I was about 8 stone, thin as a fucking Rizzler, and people just probably thought I was a bit of a melt. And I was, to be fair, when I first went in, because I just wanted to keep my head down. I've just got 8.5 years up my arse, first time in prison. I just wanted to get on with my sentence. But it was all right on there when I had my missus at the time, but then she got moved to a different wing. So that was difficult then. I knew no one. And then a couple of people from Eastwood Park then came onto the wing with me, so I knew them. Within 3 days, they then got moved off. So once again, I was by
oh,
myself.
shit.
So yeah, it wasn't very nice, but it is.
Did you find like, so how was it then? Did you feel like, you know, did people come at you all the time? Did you felt like you was a bit of a target, like an easy target? Because obviously you give the tobacco over, you
A
know,
little,
and
yeah. A couple of them were nice. They was like, "Listen, don't borrow your shit out. Don't give anything, or don't give it to her because she won't give it back." Blah blah blah. And she never did. But I never asked her. I thought, "Oh fuck that, you can just have it, mate." Um, but some people on there, Kelly Mundy, she knew Gail, so she kind of looked after me when she realised who I was because she'd known Gail for years.
yeah.
Obviously, she had another agenda, but hey ho. But yeah, she looked after me, so I felt a bit better than like, oh, she knows quite a few people. She's quite popular, so that means I can chill with them then and be all right.
It's got to be a horrible situation, and it just to sort of yeah, just to be in. Um, I mean, obviously you're lovable as fuck, you know, and I mean, from what I saw, everyone got on with you. Everyone, you
Yeah.
know, I never met you through that experience. So, you know, you found your feet. How quickly did you settle in? You know,
Uh,
to stop feeling feared and
when I moved on D wing, I had to go through outside people because we told them we were married. We weren't, but we had to say that so we could have contact with the baby together.
oh right, okay,
Came up. So they eventually I went through everything and it states that you can be in the same wing just on a different spur because they fucked up the first time. They put me opposite her and they realised what they'd done. So they then moved me on to the other side. But I settled in then. I thought, right, I'm on here with her now. It's a bit better. Do you know what I mean? I've got a pad mate. I can't even remember who it was at the time, but about 10. Because I'm always on basics. They don't want to be tooed up with me. So I was all right then. I was like, I've got a pad mate now, we'll be fine. And that's when I settled in, probably around middle of February, about 6 or 7 weeks after I started settling in.
so it's not too bad then. And
No,
the good thing about the doubles in send is you don't share the toilet or the shower, and you can lock the door. Like, so
no, yeah.
you've got the privacy. Obviously you've never been to Brunsfield, so you don't know
And your
what
doors are not locked. So that was the thing,
yeah.
door being locked. I used to hate that sound every night. Just them keys turning. And when I moved on there, I just felt like, I know it sounds stupid, but freedom in a sense.
100%,
You
yeah.
could just walk out your room. You could just go to the toilet. You'd get spied on, like what you're doing out your bedroom. I'm going for a piss, mate. What you on about? Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah, I know.
yeah,
It was jokes. We used to mess around on there because obviously D wing was induction wing when I come
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
send, so you had to go on there first. But we was always pissing around out of
No,
our room.
I used to literally put baby oil on the floor. Do you remember Mr. Tinsley, the big fat one? He,
Yeah.
so I used to put baby oil on the floor and be sliding up there all fucking naked, mate. He used to go, put your clothes back on. I'd be like, oh, sorry, Mr. Tinsley.
Oh, you used to have a right laugh, a right laugh. So you're in sends. Then how long are you on? How long are you on there for?
Um, Now this is where it gets tricky. So I got on there to be with my missus. Um, Took a few weeks in between. I didn't notice at the time, but she'd been cheating on me. So when I moved on there, she was happy, but not like as happy as like. Do you know what I mean? You could
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what are you doing on here? Like, well, we've been fighting this for fucking 3 or 4 weeks. Like, you're not going to be happy. Give me a cuddle, and like, I'm not being funny. She weren't exactly pretty, and I don't really usually go for that type. Like, my type is usually a certain type, and I don't know what it was. Like, I knew the relationship was about to break down, but at the time, I didn't know she'd been cheating on me. So when I found out, that's when they moved me off because they could see I was struggling. No matter what had happened between us, we'd been together for nearly 2 years. So the fact that you're shagging every Tom, Dick, and Harry on that wing behind my back, and that's when they moved me off to. I was actually on basic, and I'd been on it 2 weeks. And in the end, they just said, "Can you do your review over main block?" I went, "Why?" And when I went over there, they went, "Right, you're not going back over." I went, so they tricked me. Instead of doing the review on D wing, they took me there, so I couldn't get back in my cell. So yeah, they moved me on to, was it C wing or D wing? C wing.
And that must be tough as well, because I went in with somebody and we were padded up and literally we fought. Like, the relationship was dead. Like,
Mm.
it was what it was.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. That bit of home's gone. So when that's gone, it's like bang. It's like you're doing the restart of your sentence all over again,
No, yeah,
because
100%,
you're
yeah.
then disconnected. I mean, it was a little bit different for me because they went home, which they might be watching probably, but you never know. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was glad because it was just. But at the same time, you lose that piece of home. But for you, you've not only been detached from your bit of home,
Mm.
you got to see them
Yeah,
and hear all the rumours, because by God, even if they weren't doing anything wrong, they're doing something wrong. So how much people
every day
see it.
that acted like my friend when she was shagging my wife behind my back.
Yeah.
It was like,
So
"Oh, do
how did you
you
cope
know
with that? How did you
I nearly
how did you
banged
deal with
her,
that?
but I'm not a fighter." As I say, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I'm not. I don't like conflict. Like, I've got a big mouth, do you know what I mean? I've had a couple of tear-ups in jail, but I'm not someone that would. I'm like, "You're not fucking worth it, mate. I'm worth more than the way she's treated me." Um and if you want her, you can fucking have her. Because someone actually said to me, she would, because she was mixed raced, and obviously I'm white. They went, "Oh, Gail loves her vanilla cheesecake." I said, "What you want about?" He said, "You." I went, "Oh right, I get it." She went, "She was having chocolate cheesecake last night." I said, "What you want about?" And that's when I realised what they meant, that she was sleeping with her. So I wanted to bang her, but because she said in front of everyone, "Yeah, I've been fucking your missus," and what, in front of about 20 people, and it was just it was more of an embarrassment. I just walked off of
Yeah,
hurting, and
yeah.
I was over the hurt. I was like, I'm worth more than that. Just do one. So I never spoke to her again. I think she moved down J Wing then.
God, that's got to be horrible. Sorry.
Oh, for a little while. Obviously, she stayed at main block for a little while, but she cheated on me with 2 or 3, and actually one of them that she cheated on me, I got with and fell madly in love with, and we were together like 14 months. We had our neck tattoos on us, each names.
What,
Uh,
prison tattoos?
yeah. Um,
Let's have a look. Come on, you got to show the live. Oh no, it's on your neck today. Oh, there you go. That's what a prison tattoo looks like.
I don't know if you can see it. It says
Just,
Nick.
yeah. So, how did you have that done? Because when I was in Bronzefield, they used to use black paint with like sewing needles.
Yeah, it was acrylic paint with. No, it was a safety pin. Fucking
Oh,
kill.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So
Oh,
and then I won't get the other one out because I'll have to get my tits out otherwise.
yeah, no, not on there. Not
No, in
not on
that.
live. You're getting some love in here, just so you know. People saying nice comments to you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I get lost on my trails of thoughts because I want, so you're at main block then. What is it like? What is it like living in that world? I mean, I know I come up, I'm just going to cut you off, sorry. I know the amount of times that I come up, and I'll come up to the PID office with Max or whatever, or in the
Yeah.
night time, and you lot, not I'm not talking about you personally, but there'd be loads of girls off their nut in the bloody association room, and it was like,
I was
like
probably
we used to have some wild parties, but you could just see everyone was off
yeah.
their box.
In Send, if you see red lipstick and smell them 2.99 perfume, they're fucking high. Do yourself up, get their makeup on, and
I
it, like, when I first moved up there, it wasn't that bad. It was a little bit later on. That's when it got really bad. The officers were extra. They were corrupt. They were shagging all the girls, bringing them drugs in. No wonder people got a fucking habit. But it was fun at the same time. It used to make time fly. But then by the time that high was over, you'd have a habit then. And
Yeah.
you'd be spending a fortune. Like 500 quid in 1 week I spent just on drugs. Like it was fucking mad. But like, yeah, I think main block was the officers that did it for everyone. They antagonised so many girls. That's why the behaviour just went, and everyone was on lockdown. Or there'd be one little minute fight, and we'd be on lockdown for 9 hours. It's like, mate, can you not sort out two girls that are thin as a Rizzler? But we just because they didn't want to do their job, they just wanted us all behind our doors.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got antagonised. I'd have certain
Mm.
officers that would pod and poke me, and then it was like, and if I didn't bite, they would do it a bit more. And then when I lost the plot and
Yeah,
started like having a hissy fit, then it'd be like, oh, you know, what's, and they'd literally go to my mates, go, what's Frank kicking off for? What's
is
Frank got
it?
the up for? Are
Yeah,
you serious?
as if
Are
that
you serious? Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, just mate, it's unbelievable how they treat you.
they do.
And
Debbie Southgate was my worst.
I
One
remember
day,
Debbie.
she used to say to me, Miss Moore, as she said, you're like a petulant child. And I used to go, fuck off, mouth. And then she
That's literally how she speaks as well. She's funny.
yeah. I got on with her towards the end when she could see that I was really trying to sort my shit out and sort my life out. She was all right with me then. And when I left, I went, see you later, Mouthgate. She went, see you later, petulant child.
No, it's all right when you can have a bit of a laugh and stuff like that. And it must be hard work. I'm really excited to speak to the ex-officer tomorrow because obviously, how was it for them on the receiving end? It's all good for us to go X, Y, Z and blah
Yeah.
blah blah, but how was it for them putting up with us lot? Do you know what I mean? But what was
Oh,
the worst fight you see?
uh,
What was the worst fight you see? Like,
oh, mate. It was next door to me. You know the buddy rooms?
oh, an A wing?
No,
No.
wing
What? Huh?
upstairs, B2. There's a buddy door, and I was next to someone called, I can't remember her fucking name, but she called someone something. It was Gemma. Gemma had a missus. Gemma had slept with her. Gemma was telling everyone she didn't sleep with her because this girl was butters. Let's have it right. So Gemma was a bit embarrassed, but she made the girl look a liar. But I knew they'd slept together or done a little thing. Do you know what I mean? And she said, "Go and wash your hair, you nitty bitch." I'm not joking. I've never seen nothing like it. I was booting that door to try and get in. You're not gonna. It's a still fucking door. I don't know why I tried it at my fucking foot at the same time. But blood was. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. It was fucking bad. She beat the shit out of her. I mean, they both give it a go, but yeah, she had the worst of her, and we couldn't get in. The door was locked. She locked the door, and I thought they were just gonna have a little tear up, a few slaps. So you know what girls like, bitch slap, pulling fucking hair. But she was punching the fuck, smashing her head off the wall. And yeah, she had. You probably see her. She had black eyes like that, literally puffed out. It was really, really bad. And that's probably the worst one I've seen. And one by the pond. Someone got beaten up by the pond. Yeah,
Who's that?
nice.
I
I
don't know
can't
if I.
remember who it was by the pond, and I can't even remember the girl's name that got beaten up next door to me. But I shit my pants. And then I got told off. They said, "I see you peeking through the door, Miss Moore, on the camera. Was you involved in that?" I said, "What you want about? I was trying to get in there to stop it." So yeah,
Oh yeah, they're probably thinking you're keeping guard. That's the
yeah. But
problem. You stand outside someone's door when they go behind the door, and
I wouldn't. I couldn't do unless it was a nonce. I couldn't do that. That's not in my nature to watch someone get beat up like that. I cannot stand violence when it's not needed.
yeah, no, of course, yeah, because they would fight over stupid things, wouldn't they? Like owing money, like
Sorry, can I just say to Nelly, child abusers certainly do not get it rough in prison. Just thought I'd say that they're
They
protected.
they they get it, yeah, they get definitely get
Yeah.
protected. You got more chance of getting beaten up by just a random in prison than a paedophile has. What was I gonna say? Did you ever have any fights in prison, physical fights?
Over women, yeah.
Oh, we
It's
actually had punch ups or just
yeah.
like, oh really?
Not like massive punch ups, but a
Yeah.
fight, couple. Um, one over a girl. Um, she was with her
Two
for
over
9 months in
again.
another prison. She'd come here, I went, fuck me, that's a bit of me, mate. They went, Ginge, put your tongue away, she got a missus. I said, "It's not stopped me before." Anyway,
You're terrible.
um, she was with a girl. The girl wouldn't touch. She was frigid as shit, and I'm far from frigid. I'm not slag. Just get that out there. Just And I'd got with her, and the girl had gone mad. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. You're not in a relationship. She obviously doesn't want to be with you. So we had a fight. Tyler, her name was. We had a massive fight. And then it was her friend that was slagging my best mate. That I classed as a best mate. So yeah, I was telling the fib earlier. I did have one good mate, Trudy. She was slagging her off, calling her a liar. So we had a punch up in a room because tried to pull me fucking hair, mate. I said, don't pull me fucking hair. If you're gonna hit me, you prick.
Yeah, I can't stand that pulling
I
hair
never got
stuff.
caught though. I never got put on CC for it. Nothing like that. Luckily, everyone kept their mouth shut.
No, you're lucky then.
Yeah.
How many times did you land up on CC?
Fucking hell. Let me get my calculator out. Jesus. Probably about CC, not too many, 3, but basic about 26 times.
Just to clarify, CC. So CC. Hang on. What's the difference between the two?
So basic, you get to have 30 minutes association with your friends, but only 30 minutes.
Oh, right. Okay.
But CC, you don't. And basic, do you know what it is? If you're on basic and you go, oh, I'm going to self harm, oh, I'm suicide, they soon give your fucking TV back. But everyone
Yeah.
else gets TV, so you've got to play on it a bit. Do you know what I mean? I never did because obviously I was a self harmer, but I was like, I'm not going to get special treatment for that. Take me fucking TV. I got one hidden under my bed anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But yeah, basic wasn't too bad unless you had a missus, and then I didn't see her, so that was hard. But CC was quite bad. But for me, I was on for the last 2 CCs. Lucky I was on pre-pipe, so I still got to go out and go to my groups because it was on my sentence plan, so it was a necessary.
Yeah. Nice.
Lucky in that sense, but everyone's like, "You're a fucking snitch." So how am I a snitch? Because you're going to groups. I said it's on my sentence plan.
People don't understand that though, do they? Yeah,
I
people
got
just
caught on
don't.
the phone, and it weren't my phone, and I couldn't snitch. So it's my phone. A phone, tobacco, everything got caught on me. I'd only had it one day. I put it on charge, was looking after it, and someone snitched, and it was straight through my door, and that's when I got put on CC. And I was only on pre-pipe then. I was supposed to move on A-wing the next day, but that got held back then. And because I adjourned it, as you do, to try and long it out a bit, they was like, "You're a snitch. Why are you not behind your doors?" Like, because I've adjourned it. I'm not. That's one thing I definitely am not. Unless it's a pedophile in the real world, then I would never snitch on anyone. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's all right. Do you know what? It helped a little bit, especially if your mental health gives you that time to yourself. Because I was constantly that class clown, that persona, um, like wanting everyone to laugh. Like, I like to make people laugh, but then sometimes it's nice just to have that little break.
Yeah, because you are a joker and you are an upbeat character, like, I don't think I ever really saw you down.
No,
I mean, obviously, I know we didn't live on the same house block, but I would see you pretty much most days. Like I
yeah,
said, because where me and Max had our work office, it was in where you lived, so we would be there every day
yeah,
working.
on my
It
side. Yeah, I was there, and then the office was there.
Yeah, so literally, but like you said, it must be hard also. Do you felt like, because I know you and I know that is generally your character, but do you felt it was really hard? Because I felt like you had to keep that
Yeah,
persona up
I think
24/7 rather than it being like 50% rather, to 100%.
yeah. So like I'm not like bigging it up, but apparently I'm a really funny person without even knowing. Like I'll say shit. I'm like, what you fucking laughing at? But it's just my personality. I've got no filter. I'm ADHD and autistic, so I just say it how it is. And people, do you know what I mean? But sometimes in prison, you just want to chill. And I'm sat there chilling in my cell, and they're all shouting out the window, "Yeah, Ginge, what's the matter? Come on, make us laugh." And then you've got to get that energy back up just to be.
Yeah,
And sometimes you're thinking, are they laughing with me or are they fucking laughing at me? But
yeah,
I've still done it because that sort of concealed any sort of emotions or anxiety. Because I had anxiety the whole way through, and I think that's why I made it more funny and more loud to sort of cover that up.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Because it must be hard. Because that's the thing is when it's like, because I had sort of no mediocre. Like if I'm real high, I'm
mm,
high and I'm like acting a right twat,
yeah,
or if I'm low, I'm low. And I used to love it when it was time to get beyond my door. Especially in Bronzeville, I loved it when they locked me in. I was like, thank God for that. Like unwind time. Do you know what I mean? And
oh,
it's just like away from all the chaos and the madness.
No,
What?
it is nice just to have that little bit of, like, I used to call the listeners out quite a lot. Not because I was like a melt and always constantly fucking depressed, just to have someone to talk to from your block that was like normal, that was a good person, that wasn't misbehaved, that doesn't take drugs. I'm not saying no one did take drugs down there, but the people I spoke to were generally there to help people. And I used to call them out like twice a week just to have a little chinwag with them.
Yeah, because that and the good thing with that is obviously I was a listener myself. I didn't do it for long in send because I wasn't allowed to do two jobs apparently. And then I went out and done my rottles and stuff. But it's that whole we sit and listen. We don't actually talk too much. I think there was a bit different actually in send because they did talk quite a bit. We was trained in Bronzeville. We wasn't meant to. But you can have that trust as well because it's a
Yeah.
prisoner, not an officer.
That's
So
why I used to use the phone. They used to sit in silence and I'd go, "You're gonna fucking talk to me, you cunt." They say,
yeah.
"What? You're not." Well, we're here to listen. That's hence the word listeners. I went, "I'm telling you, I feel suicidal," and you're going, You're not giving me like any advice of how to, sort of cope
Do
with
you
shit,
know? Do
like
you know?
like face to face. They would give you that little bit of advice, or and I was quite friendly with a lot of them. We was actually friends, so we used to have a lot of banter. But I think there was only one time it kicked off of them. I actually brought a blade in with me. And I was like, I'm not going back to my fucking cell. And they was like, Ginge, please. I said, I would never hurt you. And they knew what was happening. I told them before. They went,
Yeah.
oh, I'll go along with this. It's our job. I said, we'll call the officer there. That's all because I had to go back to my cell because I don't know what had happened, but something had happened on the wing. Like everyone was picking on me, calling me a slag through the doors, screaming my name. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
And I don't
God.
go on that wing because I'd split up with the girl, and they were just basically trying to bully me. And that was like 3 years, 2 years into my sentence. It was all right a couple of days later, but yeah, that
It's still
was
got to be horrible. Though. I can't imagine going through that. And the thing is, as well, I think they. I'm not saying you're vulnerable, but I feel like they only do it to certain people they think they can get away with doing it.
yeah.
And then literally like because when I was a listener in Bronzefield, we was actually trained. We weren't supposed to talk. And if you was to say to me, I'm gonna go back to my cell, and I'm gonna kill myself, we wasn't allowed to say, well, what about your family or anything like we would go, well, so how are you gonna do it? We'd ask you how have you planned it?
Mm.
When are you planning to do it? It was well weird. I couldn't get my head around it at first. I was thinking, this is mad.
I'm gonna go and kill myself. You can't say nothing. It's weird.
Yeah, all I can say is, how are you going to do it? I can question you how you're going to do it, but I can't say to you, think about it. Your kids. We weren't allowed to say any of that. We
I'd like
weren't
you
allowed to.
to end. It was a bit different. I think there was
Yeah,
a
because I was thrown back because when I went in on the first call with someone, I was like, what? These are just chatting like your best mates having a cup of tea together. I thought my head was all spun by it, but in Bronzefield, it was really by the book. They said, "What's
yeah.
wrong with being a slag?" They didn't say you are one.
What?
I thought you read the
Oh, I
comment.
know. I said, what's wrong with being a slag? Well, there's nothing wrong with being a slag. I'm not saying there is. I'm not one.
What do you reckon was your darkest time in prison for you? Your hardest time.
I knew this was coming. I've got a
You don't
go.
have to answer it
Don't side.
again.
It's probably a lot of people's been through it anyway. I've got a few that like probably three or four. I'll just go on. My first one was getting my big ass sentence. That was probably one of the darkest times of my life because I knew I'd always end up in prison, but never did I even contemplate it'd be like a 10-year, 8.5 year sentence. It broke me like for a while, and then my last contact with my daughter, she was 30 months. Um, that was September 2017. That was really hard because I knew for 16 years potentially I wouldn't see her, and that is even if she does come and find me.
Oh,
So, I mean, family team in there quite good, bit of support from them, and I was on D wing at the time, so I got that little bit of support on there. And then what was my other ones? Kobe. I gave birth to him at 2 days old. I was ripped away from him and put back behind my cell. That was my second time in prison, and that was hard because I didn't even get the 5 days that I was supposed to get to bond with him because it was always a plan for him to come home with me, but I just had to prove myself, which I did with flying colours. And then the last one doesn't seem massively big to anyone else, but she was my first love. Like I'd never been in love the way I was with her, where it wasn't codependent or drug dependent. And when we was fine 1 week, within 10 days, she's dear John'd me, we can't be together, and finished it with me. So that, I think I self-harmed over that, to be fair, because I just felt that rejection again of I've let myself be vulnerable and now you've rejected me.
Yeah, and like I said before, you've got to live with them and you've got to watch them in your face, literally a few doors
Oh no,
down, getting with the next girl.
he'd actually gone home and
Oh, right, okay,
got to see
okay.
me every 2 weeks without fail, and everything was fine. And on our 1 month anniversary, she come up to see me fine. 2 weeks later, she messaged me, "I can't be with you." By dear John'd me, didn't even come up to see me. Letter. I was like, what the fuck? So for me, that was tough because there was no closure. Like, what did I do wrong? What is it about me that's so bad that you don't want to be with me? But she's just Howard. She's a slag. Just,
Her loss
yeah,
anyway.
it
But
is.
so I'm going to go to the whole pregnancy bit, but I want to just before we get to that, because I do believe that was on the recall, right? When you
Hmm.
went back. So before we get to there, COVID,
Oh, that was, yeah.
because
That's my,
you, I mean, we played up because obviously we was allowed out till 10 o'clock every night,
yeah.
but obviously we wasn't in COVID. Obviously we was all in lockdown, but they
Oh,
couldn't lock our
you.
doors. Yeah, we was all in lockdown, but they couldn't lock our doors. They've
Oh,
never been able to lock our doors on ENF. There's no, you can't lock it. It was like a front door. Obviously they could get in, but they couldn't lock it.
like D
So,
wing,
huh?
like D wing.
Yeah, but they could lock the end of the wing, but they couldn't lock the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wing. So we was acting up. We was continuously getting caught at our doors. Like, so they was like, look, how are we gonna deal with this? So they come down, Zoe and what was the other girl?
I used to love Zoe.
Yeah, no, she was spot
Fit
on.
as
She was,
well, mate.
huh?
She was fit as well. Have a little flirt, but she didn't like. But no, she was lovely. TC, she was on, wasn't she, Zoe?
She was. And what was the other girl's name? She was really nice. She's the one who got me the call. Um, the mixed race officer. She was quite young. Nadine?
Oh,
Was it
Nadine.
Nadine? No. Was it Nadine?
Yeah.
Yeah, them two come down with their tape measuring sticks and God knows what else. And
Oh,
they'd
Dove.
measure from one room to the other and all up the landing 2 meters. We was allowed to sit in our doorway on the 2 meter mark, but we wasn't allowed out of our
Yeah,
rooms.
we got that sometimes for a game of bingo up main block. We'd have to sit behind our doors and have a game of bingo, but not often.
Um, so yeah, so we and I luckily I got the laundry job. So
Yeah.
but even that was lonely though, because you stood in laundry all day on your own, and you go and put the laundry bags, and you just walk down, and everyone's door's shut, and it's like, oh, I might as well be in my freaking room
Yeah.
at least. I can watch TV. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like 1 minute it was great, 1 minute it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
laundry hard work for you as well because you had to like put it in different bags. It wasn't just an easy wash, was it? It was
no,
like laminate
yeah, yeah.
hard.
But you guys had it so different.
Mm.
But what I really, obviously, you was locked up all the time. But what I really wanna, got sound like a Spice
That's
Girl
Spice
then.
Girl.
I know. I want to touch base was I know for a fact from somebody on ENF that done drugs that they could get drugs. This is lockdown, right? Bearing in mind, there's no visits, there's no one throwing shit over the wall, no rolls. So you must have seen or heard it firsthand.
I can't actually say on here about that
Okay.
because I've
Mm,
been myself. So
okay. So it's coming in the way that everyone knows how though, right? So
yeah,
obviously it was still flooded up there, wasn't it? That's
yeah.
more to the point. It's in COVID, the jail was still
It
flooded
was
with
more. It wasn't as much like like heroin and stuff like that. There was that, but it was more. It messed up then because it got caught. But it was more pre-gabs and spice attacks constantly. But they wouldn't know they were having spice attacks because it was lockdown. Everyone was behind their door, so you wouldn't see many people high. But it was all
yeah.
pre-gabs and the wing cleaners, and I was one of them. Um, you'd get it through the door or stuff like that. So yeah, it was. I think it was worse during lockdown. That's when I relapsed, like big time.
Someone's just put, tell Ginge she is so lovely and a really nice person. And someone else said, love your dimples, Ginge.
Oh
So, and I throw in the nice comments because I know you was feeling really nervous at
yeah,
first. So yeah, so obviously anyway, we know that. It's obvious. I know that. I've said it before, what my point is, the reason why I'm just like these people make out like we're such scum. They treat us like animals, but yet they literally should be in the cell next door. You know, these officers, not all of them, some of them are
Oh,
sound as
no, I
hell.
get what you mean now. No, that it wasn't. That's not how it was.
Oh,
In
right, okay. Because
there
obviously I know a lot of it was
was
self-medicated.
one did bring stuff in, but other than that, it wasn't.
Because I
Yeah,
know obviously self-medicated drugs, people, that's forever. That even
mm,
out of lockdown, people
yeah.
know how not to swallow it, and they get rid of it on there. But anyway, here or there. Um,
But yeah,
about
the
the drink.
officers were just as bad. They weren't like one officer got caught bringing gasoline in for one of the girls because, sorry to be crude here, guys, but he was having his dick. I can't even say it.
Yeah, we know. We all know. You don't need to say it. We all know where you're
But
going with it.
yeah, they're just as
Um,
bad as us, and they should be in the next cell. But he got caught, and he never got sent to prison for it. He just got sacked.
but you know, this is the mad thing, that a lot of the corruption as well within the prison, because they don't want it in the media, they don't report it. There was an officer, she was sleeping with a prisoner, and she was bringing stuff in because she was on probation. They finished her probation because Bronfield's a private jail,
Yeah,
and they couldn't, they if they got the publicity of getting her nicked and all that sort of stuff, it looks bad upon the
yeah,
jail.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
only reason I know this for a fact is because I was very good friends with someone in there,
Mm.
and I cut a long story short, they was ghosting the girl out. She said she'll bring in a thing if she gave her thing to go with. So I know this is like, I didn't obviously see it, but when it come from the person, I know it's facts. Otherwise, I would go, oh, there's a
And
rumor.
you've been there as well. You know how they keep things.
So,
Um,
uh,
Is it Carlton? No, we weren't forced to have jabs, thankfully.
no, they was all right, wouldn't they? They just gave you the option. I don't even think, did they give us the option? I can't even remember.
I don't. Did I? I didn't, because I didn't get the jabs in Send. I done my last year of my sentence on lockdown. I got out of my cell a week before I got released. I got my jabs in Peterborough on my recall when I was pregnant.
I don't remember them
Jab.
going on about the
It was
jabs.
Yeah, it was a different jab because I was pregnant. Yeah, couldn't like they had to give you a different one because I was pregnant or something.
Okay, so we'll skip forward. So, okay, you've done your sentence. You've had a madness. You've had quite a tough time, actually. I didn't realise like how much sort of shit you had in prison. I'm gutted for you,
Mm-hmm.
but thank you for the subscription, appreciated. But you get out of prison. What's
Mm-hmm.
life like? Where do
So
you go? Are you homeless? Are you got
no,
somewhere to go?
no, I'm a mapper, so they have to house me. I'm a mapper
Okay,
too.
do you want to clarify what a mapper is? Because some people don't obviously.
I don't actually know what it stands for. I never took much fucking notice, but I'm
So it's
high risk to basically.
so basically you're a high risk. I can't remember what, I'm sure Glenn will pop up in a minute. It's something to do with being a high risk, and you can only go back to certain areas.
Approved premises, like
That's it. Yeah, approved premises. So they have to house you. They have to know where you are for so long. It's not quite, obviously probation needs to know, but there's more to it when you're a high profile. But yeah, like I said,
yeah.
they have to house you.
They sent me when I left Send. I was doing pipe, which is a psychologically informed planned environment. So anyone with some sort of personality disorder. Um, so I've got DPD, which is dissocial personality disorder, and EUPD, which is just all about emotions, attachments, relationships, whether it be friends, partners. Like I get quite attached, and if I fall out or yeah, it's just difficult. I find it hard. So they put me in a pipe hostel. Well, I say pipe hostel, it was Crowley House in Birmingham, which I was pleased for because my sister literally lives 25 minutes down the road on the train. I thought, oh, I can see her like quite regular. But I had 3 sign-ons a day, 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. So I literally had 2 hours a day where I could go out. It was probably the worst hostel. I've never been to 2, but it was awful. You got no support there. Um, yeah, it was quite bad. I wouldn't say the drug use in there was bad, but I don't drink, and I started drinking a lot, like every day there, like going out with my friend Lindsay. I went out of her like every day drinking. It got really bad, and then I said to my probation, "It's not on my license, mate. I've never come in where I'm that intoxicated. I don't know what I'm doing." And do you know what they said to me? It's not on your license. You've got the green light. Oh, thanks. You just turned me into an alcoholic then. So I started drinking a lot. Then I stopped. I'd had a couple of warnings from them. Once for getting caught in a girl's room, because it was kind of COVID at the time. So I got told off there, got my first warning. I took a picture of an ambulance outside the hostel, so that was a second warning. So I was literally, because there's paedophiles living in there. So if I posted that and someone wants to hurt that paedophile, they know where they live then and where the area is. So you're not allowed to take any pictures inside the hostel or outside.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was doing all right. I wasn't using. I was clean. I was detoxing off my Subutex because I got retox on the left end, so I didn't use. And I went out one day with a girl. No recollection of that day. I'd been what do you call it? SA. Is that it? SA.
Yeah. Yeah.
No recollection of it. I had no recollection from 3:30 in the afternoon. I had like no idea. I woke up in the morning. I literally had bruises up my arms, my neck, scratches all over my body. So I went to the clinic. I got no support from the hostel with that. They was too bothered about people like pretending they're going to self harm. I said like I need your support. Like I've just been, and there was just nothing there. And that's when I lapsed. And yeah, I went to Skegness to see a friend. And whilst I was there, they rang me and said, "You've got a warrant out because it's come back positive." And they even gave me a warning for, I think it was GHB or Valium and Valium in my system. I said, "How can you give me a warning for that when I've obviously been spiked?" But that's
Mm.
how bad they were, and that's when I went on the run and got recalled again. But up until that point, I was doing really well. Although I was drinking, I was behaving in a sense. What my behaving, but I wasn't using drugs, so I was really, really fucking proud of myself. And then I bumped into the wrong person in the hostel that day. After that had happened, it triggered a lot of stuff from my past, and I lapsed only a couple of times. I'm not on the heroin, just the cocaine. Um,
And so you got recall. Did you go on the run?
yeah, in Skegness. That's
How
where
did you get caught?
I
How
handed
did,
myself.
oh, you had yourself.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, but there's only so long you can live on the run for, right? You know the
yeah.
inevitable's
So
coming. So
clothes together. Even though it was just 30 quid in my pocket, I bought myself a few tracksuits, some underwear, bit of toiletries, because I knew I'd be going Peterborough. I was told, "Oh yeah, it's a really good jail." Oh mate, is it fuck? It's worse than Send.
oh, is that where you went to, Peterborough?
I went to
Yeah,
HM,
I've heard it's quite rough, actually. To be fair.
but I'd obviously on the 7th of May, 2022. Obviously I'm gay, but it was just a very messy night. A one, yeah, whatever. And the next morning I said I'm pregnant. You know when you just know, like you've not even taken a test, and MJ was like, you're not." I was like, "I guaranteed I am." 4 days later, the 10th of May, I handed myself in. Negative, obviously, because it had only been 3 days. But I knew I was pregnant, and I was like, "Listen, I'm on Subutex." He said, "But you've got opiate in your system." I said, "I know, but I'm on Subutex." And "Right, you're going on methadone." I said, "No, I'm fucking not, mate. I'm not being pregnant on methadone." And I left it 6 days, and I was getting these worst pains in my stomach. I thought, I'm not going to miscarry, mate. So I had to be put on methadone. So I hope no one judges me for that. But if I didn't do that, there was a high chance and a high risk of me miscarrying. And I've been through that before. I didn't want to go through it again. So they put me on the methadone, refused me pregnancy test after pregnancy test. Eventually they did it. I found out when I was 9 weeks pregnant. It's like, "You're not
Wow.
stop complaining, Miss Moore. You're not pregnant." I was like, "I'm telling you, I'm vomiting every morning." Like literally from 7 weeks pregnant till I was 6.5 months, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. It was horrible. But yeah. I was on methadone through my pregnancy, detoxing bit by bit, but you can only detox by a certain amount because it's quite dangerous. And then when he was born, I come straight off it within 4 weeks, clean.
Fair
So,
play to you, mate. You should be really, really, really proud of yourself. Really proud of yourself because it's not easy. Um, so how long when you went on recall? How long was you back in for?
um, 10 months, so not long. Like I had no IEPs. I actually done really well in that sentence. Not one IEP, not one nicking.
Bloody hell, that's a miracle for you, isn't it?
Voluntary drug testing every single week. I just needed to get my boy back. I knew that social services were going to be involved because I've been to prison. I've got other kids. Right, keep your head down, do what you need to do, and then I got put on basic 4 days before I was released, just because they could, because I vaped on the landing.
So, wow, you've got better things to do than that. So,
You know,
did you give birth in prison then? So you're
not
pregnant through?
in prison. But
Sorry.
there was officers next to me whilst I was having my contractions in the hospital, yeah.
And when you was giving birth, were they
No,
still saying to you?
in actual fact, my sister complained about it because it was a male officer. I'm bent over a bed. You can probably see up me bloody dress. Do you know what I mean? My night dress that I'm wearing. And she said, and the nurse said, "Is she a flight risk?" They said no. They said, "Well, can you get out then, please? She's in labour." And yeah, they weren't there when I gave birth, thank God. But it was hard because my sister was there, and she's like, "Why are they still here?" I said, "Because they've got to be. That's just like, it's on an escort, isn't it?" But eventually they left, and then I gave birth about 3 hours later.
Wow. And how long was you, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, how long was you with him um,
So he was
before?
born Thursday, 10:05 a.m., and I was sent back to prison Saturday, 2 days. And the hardest thing for me was he was already fighting for breath. He was in NICU, not from the methadone. Thank God he didn't withdraw because I was detoxing a little bit, going up, coming down. So he was fine with
Yeah.
expressing milk. So he had like a diluted methadone. I know some people probably think that sounds disgusting, but it actually does help a baby. And he had congenital pneumonia and sepsis. So he was already on oxygen, antibiotics, tubes up him. So it was really, really hard to then say, "Oh no, you can't stay with him." And yeah,
God, that must have been
I it
absolutely head fucking.
because it felt.
Sorry.
I said it. I say it as in I got ripped away from him because it felt like my heart was being ripped out. I
I
just want.
can imagine. Like, oh well, I can't actually imagine. But like Jesus, I mean, there was a girl that gave birth. I won't go into it too much in Bronzefield. She was brought back the next day, or it might have been actually 2 days later. Do you know what? I don't know why I thought it was the next day, but now you said that. But he went anyway. Cut a long story short, it was definitely she come back within 2 days max. But she gave birth in her cell. And they come back, and then they left her room. And when they come back, they was like, "Oh, it's your blood. You clean it." She gave birth in her cell. Yeah, I was actually on the wing. I was living on
Oh
the wing when it
God.
happened. You just woke up to this girl screaming. And then like half hour later, you just hear this baby crying. I was just like, oh God. Um,
I'm
but
lucky. I got induced due to medical issues of me with my previous birth. So mine was all planned. He was 5 days early. Because they weren't listening to me when I was ill or I was vomiting blood for 3, 4 days. I couldn't breathe. They was like, "Oh, it's just the methadone." It's like, "Mate, I'm vomiting buckets of blood. It's not normal." I was tachycardic constantly. They've called the ambulance. I was in hospital about 8 times from severe dehydration, and none of them would listen to me. "There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the methadone." And eventually, I collapsed on my floor, and it's just negligence in it. And I went to hospital. I woke up like a crash team around me. They said I just crashed for like 5 seconds.
bloody hell.
So yeah,
How so obviously they really neglected you. So how did the prison treat you when you come back from hospital? Was it the prison that supported you, or was it the prison girls?
so I was on a pregnancy wing. They've got a pregnancy wing in Peterborough now.
So they got a mother and baby unit like Bronzefield?
No,
Or
it's
was it
not.
just a
They have
pregnancy
one
wing?
of them, but this is a pregnancy wing when you're pregnant. It's quite quiet. It's not too loud.
Oh, nice.
And the room's out in purple. Oh, cheers! You've painted it. Thanks. Fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? They put like you get your own little baby bag now with nappies in to go to hospital. A couple of sets of clothes, brand new, that you take with you. And as soon as I had the baby, I come back. They went, "Right, you're going away wing." I said, "I've just given birth. Are you fucking joking me? You're actually going to shang off." I said, "Do you need the room for someone else?" They said, "No." I said, "Well, I'm not fucking moving then. I just given birth. I was in fucking bitch." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And
Last thing to be thrown on a bloody wing.
yeah, like with people that had already said to me, "Oh, can't even look after your own fucking baby. You're on methadone." Obviously, the old me would have probably punched him. But I just thought, "Oh, mate, you think what you want." Because,
You're already feeling the type. Yeah,
yeah,
like at the end of the day, like people will hear your story and they would judge, but they got no idea. They don't know what you lived, I lived, or any other girls that have been through absolute hell. They don't know how easy it is to get. So I was just reading the comment. They don't know how easy it is to get hooked on drugs. So yeah,
yeah. And like, I then had intel in about me. I was like, "Intel for what?" I was like, "I have drug tests every week. Like, what do you think I'm involved in?" So my parole was coming up. I was like, "Someone's done this on purpose, as you know. They've done this on purpose. They know my parole's due in about 3 weeks." I got out when he was a month old, thank God. I was like, I don't take drugs. Do you know what I mean? There was like loads of intelling about me. I was hanging around. I don't hang around with anyone. It wasn't like I wasn't sent. I kept myself to myself. I talked to people. I weren't rude. Um, and I made people laugh as much as I could if they were sad or they was having a bad day. But I was very different in Peterborough to what I was in Send. I just couldn't click with the girls. It was very just clicky. It was horrible in there.
The thing is, don't you find they're just so vindictive? They're so I think. I mean, I found a lot of it, not a lot of it, but quite a lot. Thank you for all the kind words, guys. I am not, ignoring everyone. I found it was a lot of lifers that were really the backstabbers. They come across so lovely and your best pal, but then I think they're the ones that are so like they've
Yeah.
been in there so long and they got no light at the end of the
No,
tunnel.
exactly. Yeah. Nothing.
So yeah, that's just a madness, mate. You've just literally been through hell and back. And what I want to ask you before I forget, before we jump onto letting everybody, because the comments have been flying through. So I think people are definitely going to want to speak to you after, if you don't mind, and you just answer what you want to answer. Shout out to Canada. Oh my God! Right, thank you guys. Stop it! Start making me blush in a minute. What was I going to
You
say?
said just as you said that, I felt like I was going to blush just from you saying that. I've actually got fucking red. Look.
Do you think prison helped you in any way? Because for a lot of women, they
Yeah.
say no. People say there's no help in prison. I beg to differ on that one.
I mean, my mental health got worse. I'd never ever self-harmed, apart from injecting when I was on drugs. That's classed as a self-harm.
Mhm.
But I'd never cut. I'd never tried to like hang myself. Nothing like that. But
Yeah.
there is support in there. Like if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. Anyone that says prison is shit, it is. Don't get me wrong. The officers are corrupt bastards. But you've got Wrapped, you've got Pipe, you've got TC, you've got listeners, you've got quite, and there is some decent. I'm not going to slag them all off. There is some that they will sit down, they will have a genuine chat with you to make sure you're all right. Prison saved me. The second time, not the first, because I was quite bad. The second time, if I hadn't have gone to prison, I wouldn't have Kobe now, because I wouldn't have been able to prove myself. And now I wouldn't have, I've done, honest to God, I've done the thinking skill. I've done every course possible for my parole just to show that I am trying to change. And if I hadn't have gone back to prison and I wasn't on the run and didn't have my warnings, he wouldn't be in my care now, 100%, because I wouldn't have been able to prove myself. Because it's a close knit community in there, innit, compared to the outside world.
Oh
So
God, yeah. And some officers will support you and help, and they will write you good
yeah,
reports, and they will do everything to get you back, because they do. Some of them do really want rehabilitation for you. They
yeah.
really
I
genuinely
remember the
do.
sound as fuck. She was so supportive. And my recovery worker actually said to me, he said, every person that I've worked with that is in your cell has succeeded when they get out. And I'm one of them people that's managed to get out and stay clean.
This gives me goosebumps, man. I'm so proud of you, and I never realised you had
Yeah.
it so tough. And I'm sure I definitely think you're going to have to come on again. I think you'll have to come on with a couple of the other girls, because I think you've probably got so much more that you
Yeah.
can say. And obviously, I'm not in a rush to get you off or anything like that. I know the comments have been going mad, so we'll let some people jump in. But
Thank
honestly, be
you.
so proud of yourself. I'm genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, and so happy that things have turned out well for you,
Oh, yeah.
and
100%.
that you're clean. And
House,
this is living proof, guys. Again, this is living proof that recovery is possible, and it is down, obviously, to Ginge wanting to change, but it's down to the prison system as well.
yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, if you don't want to do it, it ain't going to happen. But like you said, it never would have happened if you hadn't gone back to prison. So,
Instead, they wouldn't give me voluntary drug. We haven't got the funding for voluntary drug testing in Peterborough. They was like, no, we'll give it to you. It's fine because we know you're fighting for your baby. So I was like, because if they didn't do them, there was no proof that I was clean. And I said, listen, if I wanted to use, I would have done that. My baby got ripped away from me at 2 days old. And you fucked up every visit to the hospital that I should have had. Because they did fuck up every time. I always got half hour less with them. And if they didn't give me them drug tests, if I didn't have a decent OMU worker rooting for my parole, then I wouldn't have probably got out, because it's not normal to get your first parole, especially with my track record and behaviour.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like send good courses, shit twat officers, corrupt arseholes. Peterborough, they're still arseholes, but they supported me. They knew that I wanted to turn my life around, and I have. I've got a house, I've got a baby, my family back in my life. I go away on holiday all the time, like Scotland, Wales. I never used to do that when I was on drugs, and he absolutely loves it. So it's just, yeah, it's nice. It's a normal life. I love it. Boring sometimes, but I love it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's overrated if it's not.
Yeah,
Listen, my life is boring as hell, but you know what? I wouldn't change it for the
no,
absolute
done great,
world.
done fabulous.
Absolute world. Like, yeah, not in a million years. No, honestly, yeah, be proud of yourself. And do you know what? As well, it takes some balls to come on here and being as open, as honest as you have.
Mm.
And I can see a few comments of people are relating to this as well already.
Oh,
So
done, yeah, yeah.
if you wanna, okay, guys, do you all right to answer some questions, or do you need to shoot off, or
No, no, he's asleep now. My voice has probably sent him to fucking sleep.
like, shut up, man.
He actually does. Every time I talk to him and he doesn't know what I have conversations about when he's older. Well, when you find a nice girlfriend, mate, he goes to fucking sleep, mate. It's that.
He pretends to go to sleep.
Yeah, he's like, she'll fuck off in a
And
minute.
then he's like a little ninja when you go downstairs. He's like out of his cot
Yeah.
and all sorts, mate, playing with the
I
toys.
wake up, mate, in the morning and he'd be stood by my bed like that, hitting me face. They wake up by me.
Okay, so I'm going to start reading off the comments. So someone said, I'm on a maintenance script. It has helped so much. Do you have a partner?
No.
I was clean for 12 years before I relapsed.
Oh,
Life is boring after drugs, just too old. Don't worry about relapses, it happens. How old is the baby?
my little boy's 2, just turned.
Uh, you're so old not to be rude. I am. I am old.
Oh, she's not old.
Mate, it's just a muppet in here.
Fucking div.
Yeah, I was going to say, Glenn has been a bit slow tonight.
Go on.
Congrats on having boring lives, ladies.
Thank you.
This is where all the comments stop now. So, like, the comment I just see in the corner of my eye, and I'm like trying to scan through the comments, and
Yeah.
they're like, da, 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 da. And then as soon as it's like, right, free for all now, you can ask Ginge what you like.
Well done, Stephen. That is a lot to come off.
Yeah, that is a hell of a lot, to be
Yeah.
fair. I know. I'm just
Hello.
playing to the stupid comments, Rachel.
I just want to say hello to my family in Scotland. They're not.
Yeah, shout out to whoever you want,
Hello.
Ginge. I know you got some family in the room.
She's not old. Shut your mouth.
If that's the best you can come up with, my
Yeah.
heart is wounded. I can never do YouTube again. Scarred for life.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mentally, I'm 21. That's for sure. Well done. You're amazing. That's True Crime Whisperer. That's who I done the live with last night. She's talking about you, Ginge, as well.
Who?
She said, "Well done. You're amazing."
Oh, thank you.
Where are you from, Ginge?
Originally from Hertfordshire, just outside of London, but I currently live northwest Leicestershire.
21 months, 7 months reduced to 10 mil, then 14 months coming down to 5. Yeah, man. It's not an easy journey either.
I mean, I come off. Obviously, you was on a lot more than me, and I feel that rattle. But like I say, it can be done. I was on 60, and I was 60 in 28 days, and that was quite difficult.
These jokes. What Canadian guy? Which one? I think there was a couple of different Canadians in here tonight, wasn't there? Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I did do a live one. See, I've been on it. Yeah, it wasn't. It was Sunday night, Ginge. Sorry. Thanks, tease. I don't know
Gemma,
what day of the
that
week it is.
question, I'm assuming that's for me because you do it anyway. What do you see for the future? Do you want to help people? I would like to help people in similar situations, but I would probably have to do that when, what's the word? I'm comfortable with doing that myself, when my life is a little bit more less stressful and I've got the time to do that for people. Because at the minute it's just hectic. But I would love to do that to help people. But I would like to help youngsters that are going into addiction rather than people that are, like keep out when they used to come in to send.
Yeah, just go and yeah, like, and like you go into like schools and stuff like that and do awareness more and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Tracy, I was in Peterborough from May 21 until February 22. I actually got out on the same date that I got out send, which was mad.
That is proper madness. Proper mad. Someone said that you're a great talker, Ginge. I really enjoyed listening to you.
Oh, thank you. Did Thank you, Rachel. Ginge, did you get into trouble when you was at school? I did. I'm ADHD and autistic, but they didn't really diagnose it back then, so I was always the class clown, like I was in Sen, just always misbehaving. I think I got, yeah. I did all the school though. I'd done to year 11, so I did do it all, but I was just very, very naughty, and they couldn't handle me. I went to about 8 different schools, but then I was in foster care, so every foster care home I moved to, it would be a different school. So
I don't know if this one's for you. Knowing what type of screw do you think you would have made after what you witnessed in different prisons?
what type of screw would I have made? Um, I don't know. I don't think I could be a screw. I'd be too tempted for the women to get fucking sacked.
You definitely would. You'd be living next door to them,
I
mate.
would,
You'd be
yeah,
getting a sentence. You'd
yeah,
be sleeping with them all.
definitely.
You
I
definitely was like a dog on heat. I give.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. But I don't think I could be one for another fact that I'd seen what the screws are like, and I couldn't stick that. Oh, where's it on? Will, I realised I was kind of gay around 13, just from shit that I'd been through in my childhood. I was like, fuck men. No offense. I'm a lumberjack. I don't even know where King's Lynn is, Rachel. I didn't know anything about Peterborough. Sorry.
Oh, I like this one. You should be. You. Oh, you'd be amazing. You're such a lovely, warm person. You should be so proud of yourself. That's for you,
Oh, thank you. I do try.
in Scotland. Hi, I just joined. What you're talking about? Prisons. We're talking about prison. How's your mother been today? Yeah, she's good, thank you,
I
T.
didn't ask. How is your mum?
No,
So,
they were stupid. She had speech therapy today, so she's well excited because all the physios and that are not working with her anymore because there's nothing they can do. She's not gonna walk again. So she's, other than seeing the carers, she's had a little new visit. She's got some new friends, so she's happy.
oh, my
Thank you for
mum's
asking that, guys.
my mum's got Parkinson's. She's like becoming really bad. Like but she refuses to have a carer. So we don't obviously live by, which is a shame because we don't get to help her or anything.
Oh, that's
How's
bad,
uh,
isn't it, Parkinson's?
Howard? Is that Howard? I can't even read
Yeah,
what.
Howard. Yeah,
Um,
I'm like that. I'm like that half the
yeah,
time.
getting
It's
old,
just
didn't
the
we?
screen. I
And
know.
people keep saying we're old. Foster care was it wasn't nice. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, your mother don't want you, but then sometimes I was glad to be there just from shit that I'd seen. Um, but there is, I'm not just saying this because my family's watching, but my best foster care was probably Sue. I still speak to her now. I was her first ever foster child when I was 14, and she's
Oh.
like my little mummy bear. So that was probably one of the best. And I still speak to her, her daughter, her son-in-law, all the grandkids, everything. Like we're really close. We lost contact for a little while when I was in prison, but I love them. They're lush.
The screws at long-term jails are a lot more laid back.
I wouldn't say.
I don't know if that's him saying or if that's him asking.
If you're asking, then they're not, and if you think they are, then they're not.
Different experience. Yeah, it might be different
Because
in me.
send is Peterborough's not. It's a short-term jail. So
Rachel.
long term, they're not laid back. You do get some officers that are laid back, like Mr. Knight. He was lush. Daryl, they were lush, but you get some that are just fucking arse wipes, and they're just extra little bastards.
I know, proper extra as well, like to a new
Either way,
extreme. It's like,
you know what it is as well. The lesbos, if they caught you
do
having,
you
they'd say, right, they're being nipped. I'm like, mate, you're just jealous because you're not getting in between my legs.
Weren't
Why
they bad though? That
yeah,
they all sleep with each other, and the amount of officers that would flirt as well, they were unbelievable.
Kai
And then,
I used to flirt with Kyra. Used to love it.
me, I'm not even going to get on the subject of her. I'm not even going to get on the subject of her. Trust me.
She's a pig now, isn't she? As in a officer, police officer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, just yeah. I'll talk to you about that one off the live.
Robert, yes, I've had a tough life, but the way I see it is people have had a lot worse than me. And, I can't blame any of my fuck ups from any of my past, but it didn't help. But like you say, I've come out the other end.
But you got through it, man. Like you are a massive, massive inspiration. Like you really, really are. Because I was, my bad using days were like was when I was 18. But if you're in that cycle for a long, long time, it's very, very hard for years and years to
Oh,
come
yeah.
out of it.
I
You
think
know.
I started smoking weed, so no, 12.
Yeah,
12.
I was like 12 when I started smoking weed.
Bad. Yes, Nick.
Um,
South Wales. Love it.
Shout out to South Wales.
Yeah, yeah.
Am I the only one with a grainy picture?
Is it my phone? It is really, really crap. My
Is
little
this
boy
gonna be in your book,
smashed it.
Fran?
Wait there. Sorry, my little boy smashed my phone. He was really stressed. I'm making sure it's not mine.
Oh, hello
Your
to North Wales.
Is Ginge going to be in your book? You write the book?
Yeah, well, I started writing one in prison, but
Okay.
I haven't got very far with it since I come out. Well, I haven't
Oh,
written one
I'm
more
going to be in
page.
a book. Who doesn't want
Yeah, of
to write?
course. Definitely, definitely, 100%. You've got an admirer in here. Someone absolutely loves your dimples for the second time.
Oh, thank you.
Mid
Cara,
Wales.
do they speak actual Welsh in North Wales? Sorry, I just got to ask Cara that. I've
Right.
always, because they don't in South Wales. The only Welsh word I know is something like cacklebant. That means fuck you. And that's the only word I know. But I want to know whether they actually do speak Welsh in North Wales. Just want to ask that.
We've got South Wales, North Wales. You just got out of prison last month. Shit, how long did you do, Nick?
Oh, Howard. Bless you. Did you have a good life though, Howard, even though you was adopted? And Tees, yeah, they're absolutely amazing. They didn't adopt me as such, but they are literally my family. I wouldn't be without them. And I love going to Scotland. I love going up there in Wales. It's lush. I was supposed to go this week actually, but unfortunately I couldn't go because of money.
3 weeks ago. Wow, that's very fresh. How are you finding it? I'm sitting on my phone.
Oh no, I hate comments that go quick.
I know. I'm like trying to.
True crime whisper. Yeah, I do. I have. Oh my god, I have 4 sisters and a brother somewhere, but I don't know where they are. But 2 of the sisters live up here. I've got a 42-year-old, 21-year-old, 37-year-old, and 32-year-old. My world.
God, yeah, I haven't smoked weed since I was about 22.
Oh,
It's
that's
nearly like a lifetime, half my lifetime ago. Oh God, that stuff's horrible. It makes me paranoid as hell.
oh, Ginge, could I teach you Scots Gaelic? I mean, that is supposed to be one of the hardest languages, Gaelic, isn't it? Scots Gaelic. I thought that was fucking Irish, isn't it?
I don't know what's going on with these comments. It did this to me yesterday. It makes my eyes go funny because I'm reading it and then they flicker up. I think my little mod is like bang, 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 and it makes the comments go funny.
Will, I did. I was actually next door to Emma Truston. Is it the Kill Baby Arthur? After I'd had my little boy, they put me down a hospital wing because I wasn't very well, like just from what to give birth. Issues won't go into that because there's men in the room. But yeah, I was next door to her. Fucking vile, mate. She was trying to hang herself with a bloody phone cord, just trying to take the easy way out. But I don't think there was any high profile prisoners apart from that, really. Oh no, Roxy that killed. She was from Southampton or Portsmouth. She killed her little boy. Well,
Thanks,
she
Gemma.
didn't kill him, but she allowed it to happen. But yeah, not too many. Similar, but Scots is easier to learn. Well, maybe you could.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you think they should legalise drugs to reduce crime? No, I don't. Um, I mean, at the end of the day, cannabis is legalized for certain. Like my friend, she's got a card thing or whatever it is that she has that
No problem.
she can smoke weed or whatever. But I don't think it doesn't make no difference. I mean, even if you're legalizing it, you're only well, actually, it probably costs more money. The government will make a killing out of it, so there'll be more crimes committed to pay for the. At the end of the day, they've got a habit. They still got to pay for it, whether it's legal or not.
Yeah, in Scotland, I'm sure this is what happened when you used to go and get your needles. You know, when you used to inject and all that. No, not you personally. I didn't mean to say it like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, when you used to inject, didn't mean it like that. They actually used to give them a 10 bag of heroin so they could inject it there.
Who? What?
Used to give them a 10 bag of heroin so they could
Who?
inject it there. In Scotland, it was a needle exchange place. Give them a bag of heroin.
Oh, nice.
Madness, isn't it?
Yeah. So, no. So my friends can smoke weed. Is basically legal for her to smoke weed, but not for cancer purposes. It's for mental health purposes. I can't remember what it was, but what did happen at? I miss it.
If I come over there, can I stay with you? And it would take.
Bang. That's what I mean. I looked down and looked up,
Oh,
and then
that
it
was
was
Howard
like,
as well. I like Howard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have wee bars in Amsterdam as well, innit? My
Yeah.
the family have just come back from there, so it was lush. And the transgenders, like, you know, the drag queens in Amsterdam, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to go there. I'm desperate. Legal heroin trails.
I'm vaping on my toilet.
No, Stephen, I didn't mean like everywhere. Like in some places in Scotland, they were doing that at one point. This was quite a few years back, though.
England.
UK. Love it.
I'm kind of guessing with a name Kelly, you're from England as well. Could be wrong.
Oh, you said stuff. You support eggplant?
Only fried eggs.
Give me 10 of the worst offenders in to see how much. I don't get that question. Don't understand. I did make hooch and once and actually fucking burst in my room and I got caught like a dickhead. I left it on the radiator for too long and it fucking burst everywhere. My whole room smelled like a brewery. But
That stinks.
It's really dangerous hooch. It can make you go blind and everything.
Did you actually drink it at all?
Not my one, my burst, but I have drunk it in there, yeah.
Was it any good? Was never appealed to me. Never. Did it actually get you smashed?
Yeah. And I've had Malibu in there and vodka.
Oh, yeah. There was always stuff like that.
Yeah. All the fake hacker stuff is messing with kids' minds. Seriously, on the
Right, guys, have you got any serious questions or anything you want to ask Ginge before we call it a night? But whilst we wait 4 hours for anyone to say anything, Ginge, again, I'm really, really grateful that you come on this evening. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the story's powerful and it just shows recovery is possible yet again. You're another one alongside MJ that's come on and told such a different story. Seeing it from up there, you know, it's like you're in the same prison, but it's two worlds apart.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? How different it is. It really, really is different.
Plans for the next 2 years. Oh wow. Well, my little boy starts nursery soon, so I am looking to maybe get a part-time job somewhere and find the love of my life, someone to build on my family, really, because it's lonely.
Well, someone said, please do another live with Fran. It's been great.
Oh yeah, I will soon. We'll come on.
My story is pretty nuts. Nick, honestly, would love to have you on the channel. So, Mod, would you like to pin the Facebook page if you want to send a message over to our Facebook page,
Stephen.
give us a DM, and we'll arrange something. We'll set up a WhatsApp group chat with me and my mod, but she's not just my mod, guys. She does all my work, all the work on the Facebook chat page is what Glenna does, which I'm grateful for, as always. And she really has been supporting me through this journey from the beginning of this year, and we're planning to do a lot of work together. But yeah, Nick, definitely give us a shout. Nick, if you wouldn't mind pinning the Glenna, if you wouldn't mind pinning the Facebook link on the comments, I'll be grateful, please.
Sorry, I just got to answer this one. If you could see yourself before all your crimes started, what would you say to yourself? Do you know what? I don't regret anything I've done in my life. I regret, obviously, with my children, but I don't know how to put it in a way that looks like I didn't give a shit about crime, but I've been through experiences with crime, with drugs, and I don't regret any of that. So I don't know what I would say to myself. I'd probably say stay away from certain people or have your own mind. Don't be, pushed into anything, stuff like that. But I'm not like ashamed of anything in my past. I've had that experience and I know that I won't ever, ever, ever have it again. People always say, oh, once you go to jail, you'll end up back in. I mean, I did the first time, but I certainly won't again.
It's hard, isn't it, when someone says that to you? What would you say to your younger self? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I try to tell myself every day. I don't listen. What I say to myself in the mirror every morning. I don't listen.
Well, thank you, Justine.
Thank you, Stephen, for joining the channel for the first time tonight. Much appreciated. Guys, if any of you are on here and you've been to prison, please check out the link that GDB Sounds has stuck in the comment section and just drop us a DM and we can arrange something. Yeah, so thank you very much, Ginge, like I said a million times.
Coming to watch.
Sorry?
I said thank you for everyone coming to watch. I've enjoyed it.
Do you know what? This is probably the most views kept up high, and there's been nothing horrible in it at all. Maybe a stupid comment. So it's been a really, really, really good live, and clearly loved by everybody.
Night, Will. Men underestimate the strength of women. They certainly do. Women are definitely stronger than men, let me tell you. Mentally, anyway.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in. Thank you for anyone that's new and subscribed today. I appreciate it as always. Night, Lucy. You're very welcome. Let's start with what? Howard, good night. I know you want a little shout out. Does Ginge have a YouTube channel? No, not yet. We'll get her one day, don't worry.
Start one with scratch cards, because I'm obsessed with scratch cards. It's not cross addiction, don't worry. But I done 4 and I didn't get many views, so I just cut it off.
So have you still got the no, that don't do that. You end up getting an addiction and you'll be doing it for the views and then you'll end up in
you get paid for it in that. That's why I was going to do it, because all these people that do like £500 worth and they got so many subscribers, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, but you got to be consistent. Consistency is the key.
Text message.
It's taken me, huh?
I just had the best message from my sister that was watching. I'm so proud of you. You've done really well. I was
oh, she did, didn't she, sis? 100% she did. Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's taken me 3 years. I've it's taken me to get where I am now. So
I don't have time to do all that. Do you know what I mean? I've got a baby. I would I wouldn't. Maybe in a couple of years I'll start some up. Night, Justine. Night, Howard.
Right. Night. Good night, everybody. Thank you again. Appreciate it as always. Thank you, Ginge.
No worries, babe. But I'll speak to you soon anyway.
Yeah. I'll give you a shout when we come off here.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.